the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is a speaker, coach, and storyteller, blending humor, raw truth, and accountability. And of course, the founder of the Choose Yourself community, none other than Mr. Hakeem Bourne Mcfarlane.
Yo, yo, what's up, man? Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Welcome, Mr. Hakeem. Book one review, and can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Yeah, Hakeem Bourne Mcfarlane, aka Big Dream Hakeem. And the big dream is to help you live yours. I'm a creator, speaker, and author. I speak about embracing your story to fill up your cup and then pull from an overflow through systems of accountability and the foundation around your sleep, story, and gut health. And the Choose Yourself community is based on accountability amongst each other so we can grow stronger together.
I like that, Mr. Hakeem, to fill your cup until overflowing and share to other. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Yes, and today let's talk about a discipline. If discipline is not just a willpower or punishment, how would you define its core essence? Is it a skill, a practice, or a form of self respect?
All three, but really it comes down to systems. It comes down to building a habituality that you can rely on when your emotions surface. It comes down to building neuroplasticity in your mind so that you can autopilot through the growth. Instead of reverting back to old habits, instead of reverting back to your emotional state right now, you rely on systems that propel you towards your intention, what you said you would do before your excuses popped in your head. Okay. Discipline, short term, is delayed gratification. You focusing on right now or you focusing on the future?
Interesting, Mr. Hakeem. When we say I am disciplined, is discipline something you do or is something powerful and it's an identity you become? Or how does transformation happen?
Well, you make changes so small it's impossible to fail. And then you always check the box. Now, your discipline, no matter what area of life, you talking about financially, you talking about business, you talking about discipline to the religion that you claim to believe in, but you can't stop sinning every day. You talk about discipline and cleaning your house, picking up that dirty sock, putting the lid on your sauces, cleaning your fridge, scrubbing the toothpaste off the mirror. Okay, these are small things a lot of people skip because ain't nobody watching. But I got news for you. What you do in solitude develops your behavior in public. And so when you get under pressure, stress, or adversity, the way you treat yourself in solitude, the way you choose yourself is what's then being projected into the world, which then will be reflected back onto you. So discipline starts by what you do for yourself when you by yourself. If you say you're going to wake up on time, then get up on time because the subconscious and your creator are always watching. And that becomes the new programming in your mind.
Very well said, Mr. Hakim. So let's talk about the myth versus reality. What is the most common or damaging misconception about discipline that you see holding people back?
I think people think they need motivation. They think that discipline is something that is generated from a contribution to others. It comes from the myth of discipline. I think people believe that you need motivation to be disciplined. But motivation comes and goes. You need purpose, you need faith to stay disciplined to then generate motivation. Motivation comes from momentum. You can get motivation from reading a book, watching a reel, going on a retreat, having a conversation with someone you like. Yeah. But then where that motivation hits internally then becomes the shift in the internal programming. So discipline doesn't come from external. Discipline comes from a series of choices over time until it becomes part of your habit. Now, it doesn't mean that everything you do has to be repetitive. It means that you embrace the discomfort of doing what you said you would do outside of your emotions, and that muscle in itself is the discipline muscle. The discipline muscle you can use in new situations and new environments. It's not that, oh, I have to clean my house every Sunday and then it becomes discipline because now it's a habit. No, it's you do what you said you would do when your boss snaps at you, when traffic pisses you off, when you say it's too cold to go to the gym, when the cold shower is on and you say I don't want to do it today, when you say, oh, I'm going to give my kids some BS food because it's quicker. I don't want to give them the healthy food because it's going to take too much time and I got stuff to do. Discipline is doing what you said you would do before the excuses. That's the bottom line. And so it doesn't have to be the same exact repetitive action. It can be a series of actions of doing new things like you said you would, but doing them like you love it, even though it might be uncomfortable.
Very well said. Mr. Hakeem, you need an applause for that. Very well said. Inspiring too. Inspiring.
Oh, they got muted.
So let's talk about the psychology and motivation itself. The why engine. We hear the start with why. But now do you connect a deep emotional why to the daily grind when motivation has evaporated? What makes why sticky enough to fuel discipline?
Well, because it comes from your story. It's in your DNA. Your why is not your kids. Your why is not money. Your why is not religion. Your why is not blue, red, black, white, achievements, looks, money, status. Your why is because it's part of longevity and perseverance to be self sufficient and emotionally regulated. That's why. So, and what does that provide? That then provides a safe space for your kids, for your partner. That then provides alignment between you and your belief. It's the root characteristics. Your why is your personal brand. What type of impact do you want to leave? What do you want them to say at your funeral, not at your dang celebration? What they gonna say? It's about how you treat people. Why? Is because the legacy you leave is gonna be the characteristics that you portray when you interact with other people in uncertain situations. So a lot of people want to stop at the contribution component. Why? Because it's my kids. Why? Because it's part of my job. Why? Because I need money to live. No, what's the deeper root of that? Because you don't want to be dependent, because you want to set a good example, because you want to be authentic, because you don't want to have friction inside by doing stuff for other people instead of doing what you're supposed to be doing for yourself. That's the why. And that becomes the underlying belief system between all the external titles. Now, if you want to figure out your why, we do this in the Choose Yourself community every Tuesday. We also do in-person workshops, Scottsdale, February 18th, Florida, April 25th, where we develop your brand around your why. Then we structure your business to fit your brand, but that comes from your story. Now, a lot of people want to create a business because of a niche in the market. Oh, I want to create a new freaking supplement because people are getting overweight. Now I want to create something with AI that's going to help you freaking get more organized because that's what's in demand. But why? Did you come from a place of overweight? Did you come from a place of disorganization? Because eventually, if you chasing trends, you ain't never gonna catch it and you ain't never gonna set it. You can't be a trend chaser and a trendsetter. Now, when you build from your why, then you attract with your story and development, and the root never changes. But if the root is to try to satisfy the societal norm, well, guess what? You better get it right now because it's going to change soon. So find your why, and then you'll see why you should join the CYC.
Mm. Well, very well said again, Mr. Hakeem. Well, discover your why, people. So let's talk about the discipline versus desire in a world engineered for instant gratification. How do you cultivate discipline when it's in a direct conflict with legitimate human desire like rest, comfort, and connection?
Yeah, I mean, we're in an overflow of seeking comfort, convenience, and excuses because we desire less friction and less challenges and less expansion because everything's so accessible. Now, what you do is you have to implement systems on your own to be able to control your desires. We do 30 days without vices 3 times a year in the Choose Yourself community. No sugar, no liquor, no weed, no screens, no nicotine, no caffeine, no gluten, no grains, no dairy, because those are the top desired vices and stimulants in the world. Now we use community to break free of those things. Then guess what? You're choosing discipline over desire. Then you strengthen the muscle I was just talking about. So next time you desire something, whether you desire to be angry or you desire to go spend outside your budget, that's the same voice that's trying to tell you to eat something sweet after you eat. It's the same voice telling you to stay up late on your screens in your bed. It's the same voice telling you, "Oh, I don't want to do laundry today," but you're not focusing on the people who don't have laundry at all. Now, the desire, if we now when we go through these challenges, it's not about, "Oh my God, I want sugar. I can't have sugar. Oh my God, I want a coffee. I can't have coffee." Well, now you're just attracting it to yourself. Your subconscious doesn't know if you want it or not. It just knows what you're focused on. So now all it does is notice coffee and sugar all the dang time. You focus on being in your natural state. You focus on being calm and collective. That's the discipline. So the discipline is choosing your focus. Are you choosing to resist the desires by focusing on what you don't want? Are you choosing to resist the desires by focusing on what you do want? That's discipline.
Discipline indeed. The compassion paradox. Many fear that self compassion after a slip up is a soft or leads to quitting. How can compassion actually be a critical component of sustaining long term discipline, Mr. Hakeem?
Yeah, well, compassion is a tricky one. It's tricky because there's a difference between being nice and being kind. There's a difference between empathizing and sympathizing. There's a difference between being struggling from pain and showing pity. Okay. Now, compassion through discipline is about how you feel about yourself. If you can have compassion for the times that you aren't disciplined, but you have the systems to be able to bounce back, it allows us to have a faith in someone else that maybe they can actually change. Maybe they're actually going through something that it may be detrimental, it may be negative, it may be painful at the time. But if we allow ourselves the space to fall off and come back, then we have that belief in others. But if we never ever start discipline and we never ever fall off because we're always in a consumption loop, well, now we're consuming excuses, we're consuming toxins, we're consuming other people's opinions. And so, what do we project on other people? Toxins, our opinions, everything else, because we reflect what we project. So it starts by how you treat yourself. Do you have compassion for yourself? Meaning, get over the wounds, get over the trauma. I ain't say suppress it, get over it, meaning accept it, take action with accountability and conversation. So then, how you treat your past wounds, how you treat your excuses, your blaming, your depression, your anxiety, that's then how you will hold space for people who are going through that. That's compassion. Now, if you want to fake it, that's not compassion. That's enabling. Now you're not being honest because you're just allowing them to sit in the pity without providing hope and resources through exemplifying what it's like to be accountable and accept it and have conversations about it and do research. There's people with it worse who are doing better. All right. And so the compassion starts with how you treat yourself when you're going through things internally.
Very well said again, Mr. Hakeem. So let's talk about the system, routines, and the environment. The phrase is environment eats discipline for breakfast. What are the most effective ways to design your physical or digital environment to make the discipline choice the easiest choice?
You start with solitude. Put your dang phone down. Put your phone down. Put your phone down before you want to get in bed. You're bringing your phone to bed. The bed is for sleep and sex and a book. That's it. You bring your phone, you're bringing food, you got the dog in the bed, you got the TV on. Come on now. Your mind don't even know what you're trying to do. Your mind don't know if you're trying to sleep. You got the blue light in your face. Now this thinks it's daylight, no melatonin, no circadian rhythm. Now you're taking years off your life and you got anxiety in the morning. Now you're hitting the snooze. Now you're a self-snoozer, not a self-chooser because you didn't have the discipline the day before. So in the third pillar of the choose yourself process, it's called the foundation. We have foundation programs in the CYC. We also work on personalized foundations at these workshops. In the retreat we got coming up June 18th, you get a customized foundation that is personalized for your brand that comes from your why so you can structure your life in solitude to build the business and the dream life you want. But it's not going to be overnight. It might feel like it's overnight once you get there, but it takes a bunch of nights to get to that night. And if you can't go to sleep at night, that night ain't never coming. Okay, so you take the pillar of digital sunset, nighttime routine, reading bedtime, sleep, alarm, morning routine, digital sunrise. Okay, this is a small system. I guarantee you do this 7 days a week, your whole week will change. If you can put your phone down on time, choose yourself, go to sleep, wake up, choose yourself, pick up your phone, pick up your laptop, get to your kids, your whole internal nervous system and internal dialogue will change. And those are the systems that we have to implement, whether it's 20 minutes before bed, 30 minutes after bed. Some days my morning routine is 5 hours, some days it's 50 minutes. But I'm always going to check the box. Might work out for 60 minutes, I might work out for 20. Might meditate for 10 minutes, might meditate for 2. I might pray with 5 words, I might pray for 50 words. I might pray for 5 minutes. But I'm still going to check the box. And the systems are personalized based off of what allows you to be most connected to yourself. So it's not the same for everybody. Some people go in nature. I don't go in nature unless I'm on vacation. So whatever you need to do for you is the systems in that foundation. Get your routines and time management down because that's how you end your day to stop from the negative thoughts and the anxiety in your bed. But it's also how you build the momentum to move into the rest of the day by choosing yourself first. And then you overflow into your intention, into the people that you love.
Mr. Hakeem, as a speaker, coach, and storyteller, as well as a founder, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
My long-term goals, sorry, cut out.
Yes, please.
Long term, well, speaking on stages across the world, but for now we meet every Tuesday online, doing 4 to 6 workshops in person around the country, one retreat every year. And now the end goal is to have a whole choose yourself experience that's 90 minutes, where there's a compilation of theater, poetry, keynote, and music. That's the end goal, the choose yourself experience tour. So y'all be looking out for that. In the meantime, we breaking it up into small segments, 1 day workshops, 6 day retreats. We got online accountability. And so there's different facets to the development. And if you want to start with your book, your story, you can get my book. It helps people embrace their story. So long-term vision is to speak on stages and help people embrace who they were supposed to be before society tried to make them someone they're not.
Goals. Good luck to your goals, Mr. Hakeem, and looking forward for more success. Yeah. So, what will be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you?
Well, as long as we're alive, God and the devil both reside inside. And we get a choice when it comes to our relationship with both. You can be a deal maker or you can be a deal breaker. But if you make a deal with the devil won't show up as the devil because you won't make the deal. It might show up as sugar, liquor, nicotine, porn, weed, pills, excuses, self-sabotage, self-destruction. It may show up as not doing the instructions that you constructed. So understand it's not going to show up with horns in the tail. It's inside the mind. So every time you choose excuses, every time you choose neglect, every time you choose one hand, boo-hoo, oh my God, the weather, my felony, my mom's sick, my brother died, the politics, oh my God, it's icy, blah, blah. Every time you do that, it stops you from being able to make a change. The less you blame somebody, the quicker you can change. And it's not about blaming yourself. It's about being accountable for your opinions and emotions. Then you can make a change. All right. And that's what God wants you to do. Become aware, accountable, and authentic.
And thank you for that empowering advice. Mr. Hakeem, and can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Hey, well, first, my book, Choose Yourself to Be Chosen. That really helped me embrace my story because I was able to write it from the perspective of the reader, but also The Way of a Superior Man. We got a lot of soft men out here confused
Mm-hmm.
about a lot of things. All right, tap into that book. Talks about internal awareness, masculine presence, purpose, polarity, but also Principles by Ray Dalio. That talks about the systems, radical truth, and transparency that will generate willpower. Also, David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, as well as looking at my bookshelf. Oh, Laws of Human Nature, Robert Greene. That was also a powerful one. Yeah,
Mm.
it's top four. Top four. Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza was good too. That's five good books right there. If you're not a reader, tap into those.
Yes, and thank you for that empowering books, Mr. Hakim. Truly, truly, they are something else. So let's talk about the freedom through structure. The paradox is that discipline equals freedom. Can you share a personal story of how specific discipline, like financial, health, creative, actually created more freedom, space, or peace in your life?
Yeah, I mean, my trigger point. Everybody gets to a trigger point where they're done dealing with their own BS. Once you finally become accountable and stop blaming everything that happened to you, and know that it happened for you. And when I started to set my intention around my sleep, I started to journal. I started to meditate. I started to eliminate toxins. I started to wake up early. I started to read books, grow my mind. When I started to do these things, it created more freedom, but not in the sense of freedom from the toxins, freedom from the desire. I no longer had a desire to want to be destructive because I saw the benefits of what happens when you fill up your cup and then pull from an overflow, and that becomes a new addiction. Addiction ran in my family till it ran into me. So I don't want to hear it. Everybody can be addicted, but what you addicted to? Because dopamine is for real. You ain't got to get the quick dope. Quick dope get you sick quick. The real dopamine is free. So when I started to invest in that, then when I got my opportunity to do sales with my uncle, the personal development investment understanding transitioned very identically to the business development. And with that, I went from living in a basement with an unfinished basement with bees and crickets and a hoopty with no heat, and I still locked into my foundation. I hooped it with no AC or heat, and eventually grew to nice apartment, nice TV, nice king, brand new car, and then I moved to New York City because my sales reflected my personal development and awareness and dedication and discipline. So I was able to create more freedom because I stayed locked in and resisted the urge to neglect and be destructive. So it seems like it's discipline, it's militant. Oh my God, it's so structured. That's the freedom. The freedom is prioritizing yourself. That creates freedom and time on the end of your life and a more quality health span so you can be there for longer with your grandkids and your knees ain't clicking and popping and your heart stopping.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome, Mr. Hakeem. But before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season, abstract poetry in third season, and my book 101 review in sixth season too, comedy 101 third season, and my food 101 in sixth season as well, geography 101 love letters, movie 101 review, music 101 our fifth season, science 101, sex 101 in fourth season, spiritual awakening, trivia 101, law 101, mental health 101, motivation 101, entrepreneurship 101, of course, my Bible verses 101 are my baby podcast. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Hakeem, if you had to trace your own core discipline back to one formative experience, piece of advice, or painful lesson, what would it be and what planted the seed?
It was day 4 of day 8 in isolation on my second 8-month stint. First 8 months, I didn't pay attention. Got out for 30 days, got locked back up. The second 8 months, the first 8 days, I was in isolation. No phone, no pen, no pad, no book, no phone call, no shower. Couldn't leave the cell. Sweaty, lips was chapped, throat was dry. Couldn't sleep on cement. And on the 4th day, I did 25 push-ups, 25 sit-ups every 15 minutes between first and third meal because that forced me to be present and it had me something I could look forward to that I was in control of. That small experience then has become the foundation for every next choice. How do I get back to the next choice, the next 15 minutes, the next 25 push-ups, next comfort zone expansion, the next place of discomfort, and then how do I persevere? Because on the other side of that, not only has time passed, but I didn't sit there and complain because I was fatigued by doing push-ups. I didn't sit there and complain because I was outside of my comfort zone. I didn't sit there and complain because I was invested in myself with the controlled struggle that forces us to then come back and dig deep and find the thing that's in us, our why, our creator, our willpower to push through for a greater purpose, which was awareness and accountability. And so that small experience is now how I transition through any time that I go through loss, grief, solitude, because all we got is all we got. And it ain't going to be much time until we ain't got no more time.
Very well said, Mr. Hakeem. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you please invite our listeners to support their book, your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. Love what you're doing. That's impressive. You got all them dang podcasts. How you got? That's a lot of podcasts. I got a podcast too called the Choose Yourself channel. We also have a community. We meet every week. We do workshops, the Choose Yourself Meet and Grows. You can find me on socials, Big Dream Hakeem. My book, Choose Yourself to Be Chosen, on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And if you need anything, you can slide my DMs to GYM or email chooseyourselfcommunity@gmail.com.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Hakeem, because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering episodes of the podcast, more and more empowering books, and for sure, more and more empowering Choose Yourself will rise. So, Mr. Hakeem, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. Choose yourself, my brother.
Choose yourself, people. More to come, people. See you soon.